When I say someone is stoic, worthy of being put on a pedestal, somebody who is responsive but not reactive, statuesque, if you will, we can all think of somebody in our current lives or in our past lives who we would describe as being stoic. But like many of you, perhaps you don't know the history of the word. I didn't know it. It comes from the ancient Greek and Roman philosophy of Stoicism. So these Stoics were these philosophers who would run around ancient Greece and Rome philosophizing about what it means to be stoic. And there are a lot of tips, pieces of advice that are worthy to discuss today. I'm going to make the attempt to tie it into business and to clients, even though the Stoics were not necessarily talking about those aspects of life and how to be stoic, but it's certainly apropos to us as business owners. This philosophy was around for about 500 years. It's a couple thousand years old, but I say alive and well and very useful today. The Stoics might say that we all know that there are bad clients out there, bad customers, and we have to deal with them. So it should not come as a surprise when you show up to the office and somebody hands you a note that you have a pissed off client that you need to call back because whatever, and then a Stoic would not react to that. They would respond, they'd pick up the phone, they'd call them, they'd try to make it better, but they're not going to have an adverse reaction to it because it is not a surprise. They might even argue that it's not necessarily bad news because once you talk to them, you might realize that it could turn into a new business opportunity. A Stoic, for example, would also say that if you are going to have a negative reaction, it should meet two criteria. Number one, it should be really bad news by most definitions, and two, it should come as a surprise to you. In other words, catch you without expecting what's going to happen. So most things that occur to us in business are either not a surprise or really in the long term, not really bad news because they could still turn into business or a money revenue situation. So what else can we learn from the Stoics about business and about clients? Is that one, the best revenge on people who are your naysayers and maybe talk down about what you could or should have done are people that you probably shouldn't be listening to anyway. And the best revenge against people like that is to not be like them. So we are also clients of other vendors. So when we have a bad customer, we should recognize that we are them and they are us. And so when we become a customer of somebody else, we should not be like that bad customer. So we should be a better customer, a better client, and the ultimate best revenge against people who are detractors or people who are not uplifting, if I want to put it in politically correct terms, is to do better. So when you have success, as we know the saying, that's the best revenge. So my friends, each one of you is an American empress, an American emperor, and you are all going to become Stoic philosophers. Be stoic.